Well, it finally came. Finally, it came after some fans were getting a little bit concerned about how close they were cutting it to releasing the Power of the Doctor trailer. But it's finally here, and we've got a lot to unpack, so let's get straight into it. Now, obviously, we got a little teaser at the end of Legends of the Sea Devils, but it didn't give too much away, and this trailer certainly gives us a little bit more to think about. Straight away, visually, it looks epic. Lots and lots of very impressive CGI, and of course we have that kind of Death Star vibe going on as well. Lots of explosions, lots of spacey, wacy things. It's looking to be quite spectacular in that regard. Obviously as well, we know that Ace and Tegan were returning. We knew that from the teaser before. We've got a few more little clips of them here and there. It does kind of beg the question, particularly towards Tegan, who actually kind of quit the TARDIS because she was so fed up with all the death and destruction, and yet here we see her wielding a gun, and it does kind of make you question what has led her to come back to this sort of life. Hopefully there'll be some answers there. Of course, Ace is just as amazing as ever, jumping down in a parachute and just pretty badass, really. Of course, we've got Kate Stewart as well. I mean, it did make me ask one question. What is it with Kate Stewart and art galleries? Every time we see Kate Stewart, they always seem to end up in some sort of art gallery where there seems to be some sort of problem with paintings. But I do like that kind of mirroring of the day of the Doctor. I really like that. And also there's that kind of mirroring here with the name of the Doctor as well, with the idea of the Doctor being erased. I quite like that. And speaking of mirroring, that shot of the TARDIS sign saying ha 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 ha, I mean, that's pretty cool. That's very Bad Wolf-esque. Now, of course, that TARDIS could be one of two TARDISes. We are treated to two TARDISes in this trailer. In one particular shot, it's a kind of blink and you'll miss it moment, but two TARDISes, which can only mean maybe one thing. Not quite only mean one thing, but does this mean we are going to get another Doctor cameo? Maybe. Probably more likely to be either Jo Martin's Fugitive Doctor, which would make more sense considering this hopefully will tie up the Timeless Child story arc. It could equally be the Master. Now, at the end of the Timeless Children, the Master was on Gallifrey, and I mean, he's clearly escaped. So could he have escaped in one of these TARDISes as the Doctor did? So does he then have a TARDIS, and is that his TARDIS? Is it a trick? Is it some sort of ploy to trick the Doctor somehow? Also, we've seen Ashad return in this trailer, so again, did the Master escape with the miniature version of Ashad? And then there's obviously that death particle that was within Ashad, so does that have something to do with the way that the Doctor is erased, as the Master puts it? A lot of questions here. I will say though, there are a lot of questions here. The trailer doesn't really give much away in regards to the plot. It kind of, there's a lot going on and not a lot going on. It's kind of, there's so much drama and epicness. There's explosions, there's a lot of characters returning. You've got Vinda returning as well, and you've got the Daleks in there, obviously Ace and Tegan, you've got the original gang. There's been rumours and confirmation that Graham will be returning, and maybe Ryan, although that wasn't in the trailer, so that's still up for debate, I'm not sure. But also didn't give much more away than what we already knew. In fact, some of the clips in this trailer were just recycled from the teaser. So while we do get a lot more in terms of it's going to be very epic and it is definitely the final battle, don't really know what's going to happen. The other slight concern is that with that much going on in the trailer, you just hope that all of that fits into one episode without feeling really rushed and crammed in. Although this episode does have a 90-minute runtime, so hopefully with that additional time, you'll be able to just spread those stories out a little bit more and just give them all the attention that they deserve. Obviously, with that many guns and explosions and baddies all turning up in this trailer, it obviously does then beg the question of which one of these many obstacles is going to be the Doctor's downfall. Clearly something is going to cause the Doctor to regenerate, and that last word, that shout out for Yaz, I mean, I think we're definitely going to get some more Thasmin, as fans put it. Obviously, the ending of The Legend of the Sea Devils saw that kind of moment between the Doctor and Yaz, where Yaz kind of opened up about her feelings towards the Doctor, and the Doctor kind of let her down quite gently. That kind of prediction that things don't always last forever, and we're probably going to end up seeing the effects of of what happens here on Yaz and what that does for their relationship. Whether or not we'll get that kiss that a lot of fans want is still up for debate, but there's definitely going to be some touching moments between these two before the Doctor regenerates, for sure. Of course, we also have the return of the Waters of Mars spacesuit. I'm wondering how many of those spacesuits the Doctor actually just has tucked away in the TARDIS, because they all seem to have one in this episode. Maybe they just come with the TARDIS? I don't know, and the amount of times that the TARDIS has kind of been exploded or destroyed, and they always seem to have those orange spacesuits in there. On that train as well, so where is the train going to? Lots of planets and explosions. I like the kind of parallels here. It's almost like there's two TARDISes, there's these two planets that head with each other. Lots of parallels even within the plot lines, as we've said, the kind of parallels between the Day of the Doctor with the gallery, the name of the Doctor with the erasure. Of course, we also don't know what's going to happen with the companions, with Yaz and Dan. Obviously, once this episode is done, we're moving over to David Tennant and Catherine Tate in the 60th, and Ncuti Gatwa as well. So the question isn't just what will happen to the Doctor at the end of this episode, but also what will happen to those companions as well. Of course, we don't know that, and the trailer, again, doesn't really give much away in terms of the plot. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now, obviously, we don't actually have that long to wait, so while we sit here with our burning questions and theories, we will soon have all the answers. Now, if you want to keep up to date with what we learn and with just the news, then make sure you're following us over on Twitter and on our personal socials at @eLittleChild and Sean Ferrick as well. And make sure you tap that notification bell here on YouTube so that you can keep up to date with our latest videos too. So on that note, I don't really have anything more to add at this point, but if you've got theories, let us know. Let us know in the comments below what you think, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you think may or may not happen, and make sure you've hit that subscribe button, hit the like button to help us out. A big thank you for helping us pass that 100k mark very recently. I've been Ellie with WhoCulture, and in the words of Riversong herself, goodbye, sweeties.